Hi Cross Watchers, welcome Project Fev, Tarot and more. I'm Sharon, Intuitive Empath, and I'm going to channel a reading for you guys for the end of April from today until the end of the month. The love energies between you and your partner, soulmate, significant other, divine counterpart, you name it, fill in the blank with whatever it is, okay? And away we go. I think we'll talk through a little bit of housekeeping as usual as I shuffle. Picking up on Aqua's collective energy, collective reading. Understand that the roles might be reversed, cross watchers. If it resonates with you as it's happening to you, understand that the roles might be reversed as the cross watcher. Aqua's same thing, flip flop, flip flop. Also, genders, energy is not gender specific, so male, female is non-consequential to the universe. It is about masculine, feminine energies, and even though I might say him or her, it's all transferable. Take it as it resonates, chuck the rest, don't make it fit, don't force it. Okay? Oh wow, whatever's going on with my camera makes my house look kind of mint green or something. It's not, it's white. Reflecting a green aura right now, I guess. So, what's going on with you, Aqua? Last reading, something was up. Something was up. So, well, literally the lovers in reverse popped out of the deck. I'm not even like done. Don't panic. Don't panic, Aqua. Don't panic. That could very well be in the past position. We don't know how this is going to go yet. Don't jump the gun. That's what I'm getting. Don't jump the gun. Okay. Soulmate energy on the table, you guys. The lovers, the Six of Cups. You guys are still finishing out a cycle. Five of Pentacles. Haven't worked through all of the recovery energies, okay? That's okay. We're gonna find out what's going on here. All right, Magician in reverse with the King of Swords in the upright energy. Queen of Cups at the base of the situation in reverse. Six of Swords in the headspace. What are you guys thinking? Plotting, planning, Six of Swords energy. So whatever is going on in this situation right here, you're ready to move on and move away from it. Okay? Yeah. Lots of low vibrational behavior here. Okay, I feel like there's a group of you that have kind of given up on this whole soulmate twin flame journey. Okay, so let me explain something that happened during this shift of energy with divine counterparts and relationships. Libra scales, not a very emotional sign when it comes to love making decisions. It's going to make as much of a balanced decision as possible, but remember that Venus is also exalted in Libra. Okay, so it's a benefit to love relationships, to have emotional and logical balance. Anything or any relationship that was out of balance, balance has been restored. Thank you, universe. Gift from the universe as Libra leaves the full moon and the end of this cycle closes out. So we have some residual energies here. Low vibrational as they may be, if you guys are not experiencing stomach problems, I feel gastric discomfort, pain, gas, bloating, whatever that is, not comfortable, almost all the way through to my back. So you guys are seriously like stressed and pained over this, and you might be internalizing a lot of this, is what I'm getting from these energies here. Internalizing. Yeah. Queen of Cups. Internalizing your emotions. King of Swords, not expressing or communicating, being very selective with your words. Okay, whatever you were trying to manifest, because the Magician is the major arcana card for manifesting and bringing about manifestation. You guys are teetering on the edge of off the journey. Okay, so the explanation, okay, thank you, Spirit, bringing it back. I got distracted by the physical symptoms that I was experiencing, channeling your guys' energy right now. Let me release that so it's not as much a distraction anymore. So, back to the point that I was making about what happened during this cycle right here with relationships and divine counterparts, is there was a deliberate release from the universe. And it says, I release you from this relationship. Basically saying, if you no longer want to be on the journey and you no longer want to be on the path, there's no karmic retribution for that. Okay? You're released. You don't have to be on this journey any longer. Something has gone on with your counterpart and you guys have not ascended to the same level. Okay? So, as a result of that, some of you are feeling like you can let go and move on. That's okay if you choose to do that. You don't have to be on journey. You can release the journey. Sometimes it's very challenging to continue on with the journey when you have a partner that is not ascending or is not doing the work. And this whole situation has exposed that. Anything that is out of balance has been released. If it doesn't fit on the scales, can't go with you. Okay? And I feel like that's what the Lover card's in reverse with the Six of Cups energy. Soulmate, divine counterpart, twin flame relationship. So you guys were dealing with a strong soulmate. You're trying to manifest this relationship, manifest union, manifest togetherness. And now for whatever reason, you've counted it out or have counted it down and you're ready to move on with the next phase of whatever this is. Except that you haven't fully made a decision yet. Two of Swords in the reverse. There's some type of resistance blocking you from moving forward even though you feel released from the relationship. So there's no inspiration to move forward yet. Ace of Wands in the outcome in reverse. Okay? Seven of Swords is in the what you desire. So some of you have not completed the shadow work or your counterpart has not completed the shadow work. There's still some part of your illusionary identity that is attached to your pain body and your ego that has not been completely healed and resolved. That's also okay. That work is very challenging to do. It's very painful to experience. And the idea that you've devoted however much of your life and time to something that isn't for you or isn't your true you is something very difficult to reconcile, okay? And there's a lot of this process dealing with the devil work that just feels like it's creating another illusion, okay? Because it's so incredibly idealistic to think about the lovers. Except that there are people on this planet that have actually done it and they're telling their story, you guys. So let's keep that in mind too, that there is an aspect of this that is real. You just have to accept the real aspect of the experience that you're going through with it. Okay, no matter what type of relationship you're trying to manifest or what type of union you're looking for with your partner, be it only in the 3D, be it multidimensional with ascension and spirituality included, be it a twin flame paradigm, which is really about the mission, not about the relationship. Okay, it's about self-love and your mission to self-love. Okay, so when you have all of these different types of relationships that you can enter into and all of these different simultaneous paradigms playing out, manifestation becomes an important aspect as a focal point to creating the designed destiny. Okay, and I do believe that you guys were up to a point very much committed to this journey. You were all in. Queen of Cups energy, even though it's in reverse, is on the table. At the basis of the situation, at one point, you guys were all in. The Magician card on the table indicates to me that you guys were trying to manifest this. And something happened over the course of the past week that shifted you away from this, or you're thinking about it. Okay, this is still in the headspace. And with the Ace of Wands in reverse in the outcome and the Two of Swords in reverse in the future position, it means that you haven't really decided what to do yet. You're still viewing the situation, taking the time to view the situation, okay? There are things that you're trying to get over. Whatever conflict was there and whatever slow moving energy that you guys clearly got impatient with that caused part of the conflict, I think is also fundamentally part of the emotional basis of the situation, okay? You were really looking for your all in from your partner, ride or die type of feeling situation and looking for that kind of energy to play out. But your partner wasn't ready. Counterpart wasn't ready. 7 of Pentacles is about timing, divine timing playing out in the 3D, and it's in reverse, which means it wasn't time yet, okay? They weren't there with you. Okay, so even though there is a close of a cycle though, and there's a new beginning here with the swords, you're at the energy of the 6 and they're at the energy of the ace. So you guys are not on the same level, but you're on the same page. Does that make sense? Like you guys are on the same page. It's still the same book. So thinking that this is entirely over and that this bond is completely severed or eradicated, no, that's not the case. The Lovers card is still here. The energy of the Lovers is still here. The 6 of Cups, even though it's in the past position as the soulmate card, is still on the table. So there's still something about this that rings true to unfinished business, you guys, okay? 5 of Pentacles, also at the base of the deck in reverse. In reverse. So all of these cards, the energy is here. Okay, the energy is here, and it really just is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to stay true to the course? Are you going to continue to manifest this, make your decision, and cut away using the King of Swords energy, which is a wise king? Remember, the King of Swords energy can embody the intellectual capabilities to manifest this part of the journey, and bringing in the balance to the Queen of Cups energy is the King of Swords. Remember, divine counterparts are sometimes very different from each other. They're almost your opposite that's exactly like you, right? Okay, so don't look into the 3D and think we're not divine relationship, we're not divine counterparts, we're not significant others just because we're very different. Okay, so aqua energy and then water energy. Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer could be dealing with that situation. But the Queen of Cups also, remember, the Queen of Cups also is underlying, there's fire there too. And then underlying the King's energy is Cups energy. He wouldn't have to work so hard to protect logically what he is feeling emotionally. Okay, so really what he's become is balance of, what I see here is a balance of emotion and logic and thought and masculine and feminine energies. Okay, so I think that is what played out for you guys, Aqua. You learned how to balance your emotional self with your masculinity, your masculine self, female and masculine selves. And although you tried to manifest the union, you did manifest a union in a way, it just wasn't the union you expected. Okay, you were expecting 2 people to come together. This was more like a, how did that happen? Oh, it's a notification from within my phone, that's why. Sorry, guys. So even though you did manifest a union, it wasn't the one that you were expecting. But I still feel like that's okay. Because the result of all of that is you worked through your illusionary identity and all of the emotional trauma that was associated with that. You purged. You guys went through a purge. So we're going to work through some energies here with clarifying cards. Moonology deck for you guys. We're going to clarify the Magician in reverse. Initially, what I get right off the bat is you guys are not finished with this. There's unfinished business. That's what I feel. Unfinished business, unfinished manifestation, unfinished energies, residual energies. Still something that needs to be closed out here or finished up. Clear, the air needs to be cleared. So if you guys are not in communication with each other, communication is coming. You're very close to achieving your goal. Oh, stick to it, Aqua. Stick to it. I know you're getting impatient and you want to give up so bad. And you're thinking about it. You're thinking about it. No. Abort, abort, abort. Ooga, ooga. You guys are almost there. Just hang in there a little bit longer. All right? You're so close. So close. And it's a gibbous moon. Isn't that interesting? I do believe that's what we're about to experience, right? After the full moon? Or is the gibbous before the full moon? I don't know the cycles of any of this stuff. Oh, okay. Two of Swords in reverse, clarifying Two of Swords in reverse. Moving on to the future position with the Moonology. Conclusions are within reach. You know, sometimes about this Moonology deck, I like it because it can represent sometimes clarifying about like astrological energies, like planetary placements and stuff. But sometimes it's just so damn vague. It's just so damn vague. Hold your vision. Yeah. Okay, so it's giving you a stick to it vibe, although vague. So you guys just got a universally charged pep talk. Hold your vision. Hold your vision. Yay. Conclusions are within reach. Stick to it. You're very close to achieving your goal. Woo! I don't know. Come on, universe. I'm going to ask the universe to do a little bit better than that. Spirit, my guides. Let's give Aqua a little bit more than that. Because if I were watching this, I would just be like, oh! I would be wanting more. Okay. If more is what you want, more is what you get. We're going to go to the Ganesh. This is the Wild Offering Oracle deck, okay? Oh, perfectionism. How did that pop out? Okay, I'm going to ask. Okay, so the last reading that I did was for Capricorn. You might be dealing with a Capricorn here, and that could be what's going on, Aqua. But perfectionism just popped out, and it did also for Cappies. So I'm going to ask for a couple more cards because, nope, still not done. Thank you. Because I feel like that's too coincidental that the same card popped out. Okay, here we go. Now we've got all the cards that we need to... So for the sake of the fact that the perfectionism came out of the deck, I feel like the fairy tale is, nah. Permission to make mistakes is so freeing. It's the root of creativity and change. Allow me, divine, to make as many mistakes as I need. Free me from the prison of perfectionism. So is it not the perfect relationship, perfect scenario, or did it not play out perfectly according to the way that you thought? So you were manifesting union and what you really found was union within yourself? Well, it seems to me that release and balance within yourself is exactly what needs to take place before union of any type of relationship. And I would imagine with the energies being so intense in that of a divine type of relationship that serves a higher purpose, that would be even more prevalent, relevant, and important to be balanced and remain balanced, because your energy can swing wildly. And when you're a light worker and you're an energy healer and you're not in control or or not in control, but if you're not surrendered and balanced, your energy can actually cause harm to people's auras around you. You can do damage and lower collective vibration and bring someone else away from their path of ascension. Okay, so elementally, and this is what I'm coming to have, I've got a download coming in another video that I'm writing, in the process of writing, about the narcissistic empath and how the empath is really an injured narcissist, or the narcissist is really an injured empath. Okay, that's why narcissists are so incredibly potent in their ability to manipulate their environment and manipulate other people's emotions. Okay, so it's the polarity, it's the duality of the empath. The empath can feel someone else's emotions, but what happens when they shut that off because they've been so incredibly used and abused and they don't understand their power and they don't understand their purpose? Well, naturally, the polarity in that is they only have the darkness, and the dark side of every empath is a narcissist. Yes, by definition, if you search yourself as an empath, you understand sometimes you've been triggered in your life where there have shown to you narcissistic tendencies. Okay, Aqua, if you're an empath, there's narcissistic tendencies in there. That's resonating with some of you guys. Okay, that also comes back to perfectionism. Expecting perfect behavior from your partner, or them expecting perfect behavior from you. Here it is. Unspoken expectations and standards and desires, okay? Unspoken, but felt, okay? But not communicated. You're just supposed to understand that with telepathy, because we're psychically linked. Don't you just know what I want? Nope. Don't you have to communicate it? Yes. Yes. Communication is vital in all of this. Well, then you can take all of the blame and hold yourself accountable. No, not going to do that. I have standards. I also love myself. And here's the key to all of this is, if you are in a twin flame duality relationship, loving yourself first is loving your partner. It is loving your twin, because you're twin and you are one. You're the same. You're one. You're already one. You don't have to do anything to be one. You're already one. If that makes sense. So if you honor yourself and you honor that, you're already honoring your partner. So learn your truth, and then learn to speak your truth with maturity. And get that emotional stuff in balance, okay? So that it's not out of control. Because this is imbalance and emotional imbalance. And it's not being communicated well, or it's being restricted in its communication. Okay? So perfectionism might actually be a pretty suited card here. So then what came out next was striving in reverse. So some of you are probably working on the concept of manifesting without striving for it. Okay, because you have come to the understanding that that's ego driven. Eventually, the individual ego's drive to make things happen falls away, replaced with a relaxed, trusting openness to answers as they arise. Thank you, Divine, for letting me move with the flow. Okay, so this is the go with the flow card in this condition, or this position, in reverse. And the rest of these cards are that you've created space, released codependent behaviors, which is all about this. Okay, and that's really what this is. Striving from the ego manifests more egocentrism. Surrendering to the divine first and working through the divine to manifest. Whole different ballgame, you guys. Whole different ballgame. So, you guys are creating space, working on your own health, and if you guys have the little tummy issue that I had kind of coming, I can understand why, because that was really, ouch, that was uncomfortable. So, yeah, You guys are, I feel real strong in saying that you guys are on the tail end of the devil work, the shadow work, the dark night of the soul. You guys are coming out of that. And you're working on self-love, perfecting your self-love, okay? So you guys are working internally towards accepting and loving yourself unconditionally. Okay, and that's good. That's a great place to be, especially if you want to attract the right type of partner. So if you're in a relationship and there's been an imbalance, you don't necessarily have to release the relationship. You just have to come back to self. Okay, usually what ends up happening is when you come back to self and you come into the relationship and speak your truth, your partner has no choice but to accept that that's your truth. You're speaking it with authority because it's you, it's your truth. It's your best representation of your authentic self, you know? And actually, whenever I have come into a situation and represented myself as my most authentic self, very, very few times have I ever been genuinely rejected. Ever. Only time that I'm really rejected is when I come into a situation and I pretend or put on a front, or and that's always met, not always, when it's seen, it's kind of like, why are you doing that? We know it's not you. Stop it. If you're not happy, you're not happy. Just don't be happy. It's okay to not be happy. Accept that you're not happy, let it move through you so that the happiness can come in. If you hold on to the happiness and you put it, or you hold on to the unhappy and you put a stop and a cork in the flow of the energy, then the unhappiness is what persists. Okay? What you resist persists. That's not how energy flows. That's not how energy moves. It's not how any of this works. So spaciousness, what do I no longer need? Still releasing. Okay, and sometimes this takes place in the physical realm first, and we purge items and minimalize our environment. Okay, that's an external type of expression for what's going on the inside. Creating space energetically allows like going with the flow. Okay, so that's what the card came out here. Going with the flow, creating space for new energy to come in, which is about releasing the baggage. Releasing what baggage? The emotional, psychological, and energetic residual baggage that's been stored up in your reservoir called the pain body. All of your collective experiences, the choices that you've made, the emotional rendering of those experiences, and then the judgment and labels that you've passed as a result of experiencing it and not wanting to experience it again. So the self-protection. Okay? So that mechanism, when it's triggered, is a nasty little bugger. And it really, really makes it difficult to see things clearly in a situation. Okay, so there needs to be a purging, and it looks like that's exactly what you're going through. Pop that cork out of that little baby and let it go. Help me, God. Help me, God. This just sounds like so desperate. Help me, God. Jesus, take the wheel. Lord, help me. To release whatever people, places, or things drain my vital essence. And I love how this card says vital essence. It doesn't say energy. It doesn't say life flow. It doesn't say chi. Vital essence. Oh, so important. And I love that verbiage. Really connects to, you know, it's important. It's vital. Show me what will fill me with enthusiasm and joy. So that's, I think, why the health card is here, okay? You're not filled with joy. You're filled with stomachache, gastritis, and back pain. You give yourself an ulcer? God, good Lord. Wow. Just wowie, wow, wow. Allow me, divine, to be tender and accepting of my body no matter what ailments I may have. So this is a card of surrender as well. Surrender in the 3D, as well as surrender in other spiritual dimensions of ascension. Surrender is always, always, always a part of the spiritual process. Daily devotional surrender. I do believe the Bible refers to it as die daily. The Kabbalah has a way of verbalizing that, and so does the Torah. The Quran talks about daily devotional sacrifice, okay? Every single day, as soon as I open my eyes, my goal, and I don't always achieve this, I'm not saying I'm some kind of spiritual guru or anything, you guys, but I open my eyes, and as soon as there is awareness and intent that I'm awake, it's immediate gratitude, immediate devotion. And I've learned, like there doesn't have to be any ritualistic amount of time spent there. Okay. It's really just about, okay, I'm surrendering this day to you. What do you want me to do with it? Sometimes the answer is go to the park and enjoy yourself. Take the day off. Okay, great. Fantastic. Gone. Go to the beach. Have a good time. Bikini. Oh, yes. So sometimes that's what you need, is you need to go, okay, Spirit, enough soul work. I need a break. And knowing that you need that and expressing that even to the divine is vital. Your vital essence. If you've run out of vital essence, it's time to surrender and turn it over to the divine. May I always know it's doing the best that it can. Help me be a loving ally and friend to this sacred form. Yeah. Your avatar needs rest and rejuvenation. Go get a mani-pedi, girl. Have a spa day. That's what I'll say. Independence. The more you learn to feed yourself on the inside and care for the inner child, the more freestanding you become. So I feel like this is the card that's representing standing in your own power and your newfound understanding of self. Sometimes the temptation for a lot of those illusions that we have rendered in our lives to create protection between us and our vulnerability want to come back in and be a part of our world, and we drift off into our imaginary fantasies and create the perfect environment, and before you know it, we're living in that world, except that doesn't really exist. So we're not really actually living in any kind of manifestation of truth, and it certainly isn't our truth, because that truth doesn't exist except in here. And that is where control comes in. That is where striving comes in, because in order for a partner or counterpart to fit into that role, we tell them what the script is, or we imply the role that they should play, and we tell them what the rules are of our play, and then we expect them to play it out with us. And the partner that plays out their role with us makes us happy and feel good, except that it's not a real relationship. And then at some point after the wedding, the whole fantasy disappears, and we call that the, falling in love stage versus the real relationship stage. And can you reconcile the two? Well, sometimes people can't, and they get a divorce, and they haven't even been married 2 years. And sometimes there's kids involved in that, because they're like, well, the reality of who you are and the reality of who I am, we're not compatible. But our fantasies are. So go back to pretending to be that person for me so that we can be happy. And I think eventually people just get like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. That sucks. Like, I'm over it. And I think that's kind of, you guys are you're kind of drifting or wanting to move out of that type of thing, kind of wondering. And if you're not second guessing whether or not that's what's happening, because it's happened to you before, the universe is saying, no, this is a significant soulmate relationship. You manifest it into your life. You asked for it, and now you don't want to trust it. Now you don't want to go emotionally along with the paradigm, because it doesn't look the way that you think it should. And then, on this side of the table, you have, the disillusion, and everything's kind of crumbling down, and you guys are feeling that. You're going through that dark night of the soul, or to some extent that has happened already. And that's okay. It's a good place to be. It doesn't feel like it as you're going through it, but from someone who has gone through it recently and come out on the other side, when you come out on the other side and you stand in your power after being revealed who you really are, oh God, there's so much less struggle. So much less pain and suffering over all of that, because I don't need to control anybody. I live in reality fully. I don't need to control anybody. It's so refreshing. You know, it's just kind of like, oh, you don't want to hang out? Okay, cool. Well, you know, like I don't have to act like I don't care or pretend like I care less than somebody else, or I don't have to do any of that in my head. It's like all of my vital essence is now channeled into productive things that mean something and serve a purpose in my life and on this planet. And I'm so much happier and feel genuinely fulfilled doing it that I mean, I think about it, I'm just like, if nothing else in my life ever works out, I'm still okay. And that's just such a great feeling, you know, it just is. And that is true independence. So you guys, the energy of this card is there for you guys. You're being supported through this. Yeah. So keep working on that inner child. Keep devoting yourself to your psychological, emotional, spiritual, and physical health. Keep moving away from the perfectionism, from the illusionary dream state of relationships. Stay woke, folk. Stay woke. Now that you woke up, stay woke. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay, because this is when real manifestation starts taking place. This is when you start seeing real results of this. Remember, the Seven of Pentacles is on the table. It's in reverse because that maturation is still taking place. Divine timing is still coming. Bloop. That's all it takes. Bloop. That's all it takes. Decision, choice. That's all it takes. And then the commitment. Anytime another choice comes up or there's another option, nope, stay in my path, stay in my course. Anytime something else comes into your vision or line of sight, nope, 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 get off the path. Meet me, coming through. Keep on hauling ass, you guys. It looks like you're doing great, and it just doesn't feel like it. Doesn't feel like it. Cross watchers, I feel like there's an energy coming through for you guys. We're going to this deck for cross watchers. Goodness. Some of the energy that's over here is for you guys. Oh yeah, this Ace of Swords, Five of Cups in reverse, which we didn't really talk about. So that's why, because it's not for Aqua per se. It's for cross watchers. So cross watchers, you guys have the Five of Cups in reverse with the Ace of Swords. Okay, so we're talking about the Two of Cups. We're talking about union. Okay, so you guys have a new idea. Inspiration of a new idea. But doubt made it to the table. Cross-watcher. Release the need to know all the answers. That's the message in the card with doubt. That's your work, cross-watcher. Release that doubt. Release the need to know all the answers. So don't focus on the doubt. Focus on the release is what I'm getting. Focus on the release. That's your homework until the next reading, class. Oh, okay. So here's what we got going on. Crosswatcher, envy, and somebody's playing the blame game. I think that's what this conflict with the Seven of Swords energy is here. Seven of Swords with the Five of Wands. Clearly some type of conflict. Okay, clearly some type of conflict. And it seems ego-driven, and envy would be ego-driven, and wanting somebody to take accountability without seeing your participation in this. Okay, it takes two to tango, crosswatcher. Let me just tell you. Two to tango. Two to tango. So if Aqua did do something that is beyond your standards, then the only correct course of action is to represent your standards with your action. Now, put your money where your mouth is at. Bye, Felicia. Sorry, Aquas, you can turn it off now if you want to. I'm just saying. It's the message coming through for the cross-watcher. If you're being blamed because the Aqua saw something on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Lord Jesus, this is a game that I just... Old. That's some high school ass bullshit right here. Crosswatcher, let this go for now. Let it go. Aqua is not going to receive this well. So if you're thinking about reaching out and communicating with your Aqua, it's not time. It's not time. That doubt that you're feeling is there for a reason. That hesitation that you're feeling is your intuition telling you. That doubt is there for a reason. So release the need to know all the answers, but mirror back the independence, because Aqua really needs to do a little bit of, they need to do a little bit of self-care. So give them the space to do the self-care. That's what they need. It looks like you guys are chasing a little too hard, is what you're coming at Aqua a little too hard. Maybe a little too harsh, a little too hard. Okay, and really what I see here is you guys are feeling some kind of way, but you're wanting to fix it and you're wanting to do it now. And then you're feeling some kind of way because you're not getting the results that you're looking for. And then you come back with a new idea. And it's like you just keep coming at Aqua. You just keep coming at them. They're trying to create space so that they can just deal with the situation and figure out how they feel. And you guys, cross-watchers, you guys are just coming at them relentlessly. Back the fuck off. I just feel smothered and frustrated and just, ugh, back off. Or maybe you need your Aqua to just back off for a second. Just back up. Give me a second to think. I want to communicate, okay? But I have to also take some time to deal with my 5 of Cups energy. Okay, if you want me to see the 2 of Cups, cool. I see the 2 of Cups. Now let me deal with the other 3 that just got knocked over, okay? And because you're the one that kicked them over, I don't know if it's you or a cross-watcher, but I feel like this was a deliberate situation. I don't feel like the universe had anything to do with how these cups got knocked over. I feel like it came down to choice. Somebody made a choice, those cups got knocked over. There was a whole bunch of shit that played out as a result. Cross-watcher. You go to your corner, Aqua, you go to your corner, and until that bell rings, done. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. There's not going to be any reconciliation at this time. Okay? You guys are still working through some pretty intense energies. Don't bring them to each other. Work on yourselves and have faith that this was all manifested and it's going to be okay. Okay? Okay. Okay? Okay. Okay. All right, you guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys watching, listening, and as always, welcome back to the channel. Click like, it helps the video circulate and it helps it to get out there to as many people as it can help. Click subscribe to the channel. That helps the channel circulate and it builds, it builds the community so that we can all open the dialogue to help each other, channeling messages for one another. If you want a little bing bing notification, that little bell right there, click on that. That'll definitely, when YouTube's actually working, you might get notified on time. Dang YouTube, I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but it's temperamental lately. Mercury retrograde is over, YouTube. You don't get to use that as an excuse anymore. So get your shit right. Yeah, that's pretty much, oh yeah, okay, yeah, thank you, Spirit. Little housekeeping, if you would prefer a private personal reading, look to the description box below. There's some information down there about how to reach out and contact me. at ProjectFEVtarot@gmail.com. If one of the defined packages doesn't seem to meet your needs, go ahead and reach out to me and let me know a little bit about your circumstance, and I'll be happy to customize something for you that could potentially work for you, okay? So with that being said, of course, as always, namaste.